All right, so we're gonna go over our hitting, or I'm sorry, not hitting. We're gonna go over our throwing fundamental work, our throwing progression. Our first one is gonna be on a knee. It's gonna be arm side knee. So Emma, you're in front. Would you mind getting down? And turn this way so they can see. Too far. Go that way. There you go. All right, so Emma's gonna be my first person here. And go ahead and throw the ball back to Emma, please. So what we're looking for is we're going to start with the ball in our glove. We can start with our hand on the ball. And what we're going to do is we're going to rotate and separate at the same time. So we're working on that timing of rotate, separate. A big key that we focus on is trying to keep our elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow all in line and staying on top of the ball with our hand. So if she lets it go, it drops straight down to the ground. Go ahead. So that way she'll be straight on top of it. If she is not on top of the ball, her hand is like this, and the ball is on top of her hand, she lets it go, it'll roll off. So that's one thing that you want to focus on, especially with younger softball players, is staying on top of the ball. It's a little bit more difficult because of their hand size, but that's something you want to focus on. The other one is the L's. Okay, I was always taught, a lot of people are still teaching it, and that's fine, to get into that L position up here. We want to get there, but not yet. So we want to make sure our hips and our chest and our shoulder are all throwing the ball, and then it'll rotate up to that position, off of our chest and our hips, rotate. All right, so it should look something like this. Go ahead and start over, Emma, for me. Rotate, separate. So that's the first one. Go ahead, guys. Relax. All right, I'm gonna have you guys switch now. You can switch partners, you can just switch spots, it's fine. So my next person is going to be Shaylee Hebb. She's going to come in, she's going to get the ball. So our next set, we're going to switch our feet. So it's going to be a little harder now. Most of the time we just skip this one and go into the next set of skills. But this one's a nice one too, especially if you're having trouble with that rotate, because you're really going to feel it. So go ahead and hit it. Let's get our elbows up. Go ahead, you guys. Another key that you guys can focus on is the follow through in this position, making sure that you get that lean forward and that follow through all the way down. This is a good place for that. Again, rotate, separate, make sure our front shoulder, elbow, hip is aimed at our target. Relax. Go ahead and just stand up. We won't switch yet. All right, so the next one, we're gonna go feet shoulder width apart, so go ahead and get there. She's straight across, everything's evened up. She's gonna work on their upper body, so her lower half is still in place. So go ahead, rotate, separate, so a good throw position. All right, relax. All right, our next step, we're gonna start in the same position, shoulder width apart, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna kick our arm side forward and even up our heel and our toe. All right, this one's more difficult to get that rotation, so you really gotta work on getting that front side, that front shoulder, front elbow. If you're a pointer, making sure you're pointing and getting completely turned sideways as well as you can with your feet in place. Go ahead. All right, relax. Jansen, you come be my next person. Jansen's going to show us the third step of this progression. Her feet are glove side forward now. They're crossed, but you can see that her feet are glove side forward. She's going to rotate and separate to the L position.
Sorry.
All right. Then she's going to go. You can do stops. You can flow through. Most of our girls just flow through because they're so used to the drill. Relax. So if you notice Jansen's throwing, she's using that drop C loop to get to the throw position. For outfielders and for most athletes, that's fine. It's a good way to get to that position. It's a good flow. But sometimes we need to be a little quicker. So I'm gonna have Jansen do another key thing that we work on sometimes with players to get the ball out quicker, and it's to take our thumbs and pull apart, so like you're pulling a rubber band. So that's how she's going to separate on the next couple throws. All right. She's going to pull her up. Yep, and then she's going to go. This is especially good for catchers, infielders, outfielders can use it as well. It just gets the ball to that throw position just a little bit quicker. All right, relax. Okay, I'm going to use Jansen again for the next one. So now we're going to back it up. We're going to go about half court, roughly about half of base path, maybe a little bit longer. And we're going to work on our timing with our footwork and our hands. So it's throwing for us isn't necessarily just a warm up. It's a drill too. So our girls are taught to take pride in this drill and really get it down, because throwing and catching is the basis of the sport. All right, especially defensively. So she's going to focus on going right, left, throw, and her timing is off of that left step is her rotate and separate that she's already been working on. So you can see the progression start to pick up. Go ahead.
Cut that one out. Cut that one out.
The movement was right. The throw was not accurate. That's okay. So it's just right, left, throw, and follow. She's done it too long. She thought about that one. Okay, relax. So a couple key things that you're probably going to want to watch for with your athletes. Go ahead and scoot up a little bit, Jansen, right here. So off of her right step or her arm side step, she's going to rotate her foot, okay, sideways to her target. So if you're going to see her do that, and that's going to kick her body. And you're going to see a lot of girls not want to do that. They're going to want to step forward, boys included. They're not going to want to take that side step when they go. So do one more, make sure you do the side step. There you go. You're going to see also the timing of the rotate separate be off for a lot of people, and especially if they're not paying attention to what they're doing. That's gonna be a big key factor in a lot of errors. So this is extremely important to get that timing down. All right, you guys want to rotate? We can do a good shuffle, infield shuffle. Can you do the infield shuffle? Yep. So we're gonna back it up even further. We always long toss every day. With our long toss, we're not necessarily doing a big straight throw every time. Sometimes we're going out, we're looping the ball, we're stretching our arm out, we're getting long with it. So the further back we go, so maybe we're a base path a little bit longer, we're going to start using our shuffle and start using our body to throw the ball and less arm. So a big factor, a big focus for us is to throw with our body and less arm to help with injuries, injury prevention, things like that. So go ahead and do the shuffle. Emily uses 2, that's fine. 1's fine. You can also use the shuffle with your arms swinging. So you can do that. You can shuffle with a glove tap and go. Any of those timing mechanisms work. You can shuffle from front to back, or you can start sideways. So we're going to stretch it out even further. If we're inside, we're going full court. If we're outside, we're going as far as we can. And for softball, our girls have to tend to move with the fence, which is good. We want to try to throw clear across the field if we can. And we're trying to stretch it out. Again, stretch our arm out, long elbow, long hand, and try to get on top of the ball. All right? So now we're going to use our body in an outfielder's kind of way. Even our infielders are going to use this. You can go crow hop. Can you show the crow hop? Okay. That was a pro step, or pro shuffle, whatever you want to call it. It's an exaggerated heel click, okay? And it works. Go ahead again. Bring it back down. You guys can keep throwing on the backside. All right, we'll show that pro step one more time. Go ahead, Shaylee. There you go. Hey, make sure you're pulling down when you're throwing. There you go. Don't be afraid to let that back foot come over the top. Don't be afraid to let your momentum keep following through a couple steps. This isn't a rush. All right, do one more. Good. All right, Becca, come on down. So Becca's pretty close on a crow hop, so we're going to try to walk her through one, and because she's already got the basis of it. So on your crow hop, you want to focus on bringing your arm side leg in front in a skip manner. So we're going to come high and we're going to get up in the air. When we get up in the air, we're going to turn. So you already do that by stepping forward. So we're going to go up and kind of high leg over and get turned. Yeah, that's kind of how it is, yeah. A lot of people make fun of this move, but it really gets into it. This is what I was taught when I was a kid. More and more people are getting away from it because it takes forever, but it does get you up, it does get you moving, it does get you using your body. You can do it. Really exaggerate that step. You got it. Yep. Here you go. Try that crow hop. On this next one, I want you to turn. So you did this real well. On this one, I want you to get turned on this line. Yep. And then hose it down there. Go ahead. There it is. That's not crow hop. That's crow hop. Bring that leg in front. I see it. I know, everybody laughs at it until you throw somebody out. Bottom line. We'll do one more with Becca.
Oh!
It's okay.
Keep your glove on.
All right, so that's our throwing program. After that, when they're working it in, they'll be doing pull downs. So they're stretched out, they did long toss, now we'll be working it in. And so it's about 3 or 4, maybe 5 hard downhill throws where they're really focusing on pulling down. Go ahead and do a couple, please. They're using their crow hop still, they're using their shuffle. Really pull down. Good. Let that high leg come over the top, let that back leg come up. So you're going to look a lot like a pitcher throwing the ball here. All right, so for the camera, a couple keys. Who can show me rotate, separate, please? We can be the example of that. Yep. Except you forgot the rotate part. So we're rotate, separate. We're trying to get our front side turned to our target. We're trying to rotate, we're trying to separate. We're also trying to stay on top of the ball when we're throwing it. Then after that, when we're moving our feet, we're really focusing on getting the timing of step, and rotate, separate together. So who can show a good one of that? Rotate, separate. You don't have to throw, you just have to be in the camera here and walk and go. Just walk up and go. Yeah, that's it. So good timing mechanism on that. Our target would be the wall. And then off of that, we're working on other things like catching and not taking off anything. So our catchers can throw from a crouch position. Our infielders can throw from a fielding position. Our outfielders can throw from you can throw the ball up and catch it. We're working on transfers where we're knocking the ball down into our hand. The catchers are working on rotating to our ear. Are there any other keys I'm forgetting, guys, off of our throwing program? Take care of your arm. Ice, run, throw with your body. Your mechanics are extremely important for that. And there are way more structured programs out there. Driveline has structured programs where they're throwing 100 mile an hour now and up and guys and girls across the nation. Another great profile business that I follow is Austin Wasserman, Wasserman, and he is with High Level Throwing, and that guy is awesome. We've taken a lot of what he does and implemented it into what we do. And also the Tennessee volunteer softball team, a lot of what they taught. We went to a camp a couple years ago, and we stole a lot of their ideas too, especially staying on top of the ball and getting into that L position. So that was them. If you guys don't have anything else, I think that's it with our throwing program. Right? Good. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll help any way we can.